So welcome everyone. This is my fourth time here for Container Days. It's not always I had a talk, but it's every year it gets bigger and bigger with the audience and the sponsors and everything. And I think it's getting in a bigger and very nice conference in Europe. Today I will talk some mixture of GitOps, image signing, verification of those signatures, OCI artifacts, OCI registries. Some of the stuff that I will talk about will maybe you probably listened in the previous talk. Sorry for that. Will be similar. But at the end, I will also do a demo and show how things work in general. If you checked out the agenda before, like a week before, this talk was supposed to be a dual presentation, but unfortunately my friend wasn't able to get a visa, so he had visa issues and is not here, but we prepared the talk together and also the demo as well, so I have to give his credit. And also we did this first iteration of this talk back in Istanbul for a meetup, but yeah, there were some other changes with the applications and everything, so this is an updated one. My name is Koray. I work for Kubermatic. I'm Turkish, live in Istanbul. We all work remotely. I'm CNCF ambassador and Kube astronaut, so yeah, I have some certifications. I'm also a Kubernetes contributor on Kate's infra. Yeah, I'm also one of the organizers for KCD Istanbul and also CNCG Istanbul group for doing some meetups. You can just reach out to me from any of those platforms, email, Twitter, it doesn't matter. If you work in the ops or DevOps part long enough, you probably had this kind of issue, like some small change coming to a whole chaotic situation where in the end you add your LinkedIn skills as DevOps automation and troubleshooting. But of course, we want to make sure that this should not happen again and again in your life. We want everyone's lives to be easier, especially if you are working on the production side with the servers and everything. So GitOps is one of the things that could help you there. There are 4 principles around it. So it needs to be declarative, so you need to declare what you want to have on your production environment or on your environment. So how many environment you have does not matter, but you define your desired state. Well, Kubernetes in the end has the same approach, and here basically you define everything what you want to have run on your system. It needs to be versioned and immutable, so all the changes must be versioned and must be tracked down. And of course, people should not make changes to the current system, like manual changes to the current system. It needs to be pulled automatically, so you just make some changes somewhere or declare your changes, and then they will be pulled to your Kubernetes cluster automatically. And those everything will be continuously reconciled, meaning that if someone make a manual change on the system, it will be reconciled, and whatever you defined or declared on the GitOps side or your Git repo will be applied again. So there won't be gaps. There won't be gaps between your desired state and what is running on the system. Flux is one of the tools in this space. I think more people like Argo nowadays, but my favorite tool is Flux. Argo is great. I'm not saying that it's bad, but Flux is my favorite. So basically, Flux does all the things that I mentioned previously. You just bootstrap your configuration, and then it will reconcile all the changes you have on your Git repo. You can do customizations to it, and you can do continuous deployments, and also you can do progressive delivery as well. Well, this is like kind of ideal approach. Developers change their codes in a repo, and ideally SREs or platform engineers or whoever does the production thingy, they work on a different configuration repo where they made all their changes. So whenever there's a new release, new version coming in, the CI will be updating the configuration, and then Flux or Argo or whatever you have will just pull it and apply it to your Kubernetes cluster. That's the whole idea. So all the changes will be done on the Git repo. You don't touch the production or the Kubernetes server. That's the beauty of it. And then this would bring you the single source of truth, because that is the most important thing. If you remember the first comic, the problem is like you make manual changes, you forget about them, you don't remember what you did on the test, and you forgot to do it on production, and you do some other things on production, you take it down. But with this approach, everything is on Git, so you can just check the Git repo and understand what is actually running on your cluster. That part, I think some people just listened. So the Sigstore and Cosign are two important projects, because with this approach, yeah, I mean, not only for this approach, but in general for the supply chain, software supply chain security, well, you get some images from various places. It could be Docker Hub or some other, maybe your own internal registry. But it is, you also need to make sure that things are, I mean, you have to make sure that things are not altered on those images. That's the important part, and that's why you basically sign them, saying that, okay, this is the image I created, this is my signature, check it, verify my signature before applying it, and then so that you can trust whatever artifact you are deploying to the cluster. That's how it brings more security into your organization. This also comes with OCI artifacts. So for most of us, it's the container images, right? We just pull the container image and apply to it. But OCI artifacts are actually anything. You can put cat images, if you like, or you can put SBOMs, the software bill of materials, saying that, hey, in my package, those are listed, or it includes those stuff in it. It could be signatures, it could be Helm charts, tecton bundles, WASM modules, or whatever you want. So basically, you can put anything to the OCI registry and make use of it. Especially the distribution and storage and distribution version 1.1.0, which is released on February 15th, has made some changes to the OCI. It actually brought the reverse API so that you can make connections between the artifacts that you upload to the registry. You can upload something, a package, and then sign it, and then make connection between the signature, or you can make connections between different packages. Yeah, so the OCI distribution and image specs, February 15th. I think the most important part is the new field on the subjects for manifest pointing to other objects, so you can make connections between different artifacts in the registry. This is kind of a new thing. I mean, yeah, it's since February, but not all the tools adopted it that you will see in the demo, but it's going in that direction. And yeah, it's being supported now. Well, Cosign supports it already. Yeah, also Container Registry, Amazon, they are all working on this. Yeah, in the end, this is the specification that everyone needs to support at some point, and it's coming in that direction. So for the registry, of course, you can, as an OCI compliant registry, you can use GitHub or GHCR or Google's registry or Amazon or all the public ones. But there's also a CNCF project called ZOT. It's an OCI compliant registry. I think it's still in incubation, no, not incubation, but sandbox. I'm not sure, but it's at the very first stages of its life in the CNCF landscape. Well, it's quite minimal. It just runs one process and then works as a OCI registry within your Kubernetes cluster or within your server within your organization. So you can have your own OCI registry. You don't have to use the public ones. Well, you can. And yeah, that's the it's one of the stuff that we will use during the demo. You can just check it out. And regarding OCI artifacts in general, with Kubernetes 131, there is a new alpha feature called support for image volumes. So it is currently it's very limited supported. Only it depends on the container runtime. So currently only Koray supports it, and with some small set of media types, but in the end, the idea, as you see, is for the AI workloads to be able to mount some OCI artifacts into your pods. So this is also coming in the way. I think it will take a year or so to be beta, because yeah, I think it has to be at least 2 releases alpha, and then which means 6 months until, yeah. But this is on the way, and also Containerd or other container runtime environments needs to support it as well. If you want to get more information about the OCI artifacts and registries, Stefan had a very good talk at Cloud Native Rejects in Paris. You can also watch this one on YouTube. This was also like he was explaining this stuff more in depth technically. You can check that out. And for me, it is the demo time, and let's see how it will work. So I have a repository. Yeah, the Fast and Secure is like a it's like Fast and Furious thingy, but yeah, I don't know if you got it, but yeah. So you can do the same stuff. Basically, I set up a G-key cluster and already bootstrap Flux. Yeah, because I just don't want to spend a lot of time during the demo. And what I did was I already installed Nginx Ingress and Cert Manager. They are there, I'll show in a moment. And then I will continue with ZOT deployment. No, get. And that is the okay. Then this will be okay. Okay, so Ingress is running, Cert Manager is running, Flux is already bootstrapped, everything is there. And now I want to have a cluster issuer because, yeah, I will create a, I will need a certificate for the Ingress, and I want to deploy Zot. So I will deploy it with a Helm chart. So I first create my Helm repository object. I'm not creating it, creating the file first. Maybe I can also show it as well. Yeah, that's better. So basically just saying that I want to add Helm repository from this URL. And I will have a values YAML file for this Helm release, which includes ingress enable. And yeah, I will just say that, yeah, this is the host and use those TLS, etc., which will trigger the cert manager to create a certificate. And then I will be creating the Helm release. Maybe, yes. And let me show this one as well. Is it visible? Yeah. So it's a Helm release with some versions. So this is the Zot's Helm chart version. And here are my values with the ingress and everything. So my files are here already. If I do git status, you'll see I created 3 files. Git add, git deploy Zot for container days 2024, git push. Yeah, in the past, in demos, I waited for Flux to reconcile it, but it takes a bit of time, so I will just ask Flux to reconcile it manually. But yeah, if you wait, it does, so it's not a... I didn't cheat much. So here the Zot is now being created, and I think I also have an ingress called Zot. And if I go to this URL, yeah. Oh, really? Okay, these probably the all running. Yeah, okay. So my certificate is valid. There are no images in the registry. Of course, I deployed the registry without any user password and everything, so this is not the right way, but for the demo, I think you can just ignore that part. But of course, it's possible to add authentication and other security issues to Zot as well. So what we have here now, we have a Kubernetes cluster which has the OCI registry running inside already. So what I want to do is I want to create a Helm chart, sign it and push it to this registry and see what will happen. Let's go to temp, and yeah, Helm create will just create a Helm package based on Nginx. And then when you package it, as you see, I have a tar gz file, web server, and then I want to push this one to my OCI registry. So I pushed it, and here, if I refresh, now, yeah, the web server is here. Maybe I can, yeah, okay. So as you see, it's not signed, but the package is there. And I want to sign it. So as I said at the beginning, right now the OCI 1.1 stuff is a little bit experimental for Cosign. So I will have to enable Cosign experimental variable. And I will just sign it with the tag. But of course, the better way is to sign it with the hash, because there could be the case that someone altered it already. So for signing, it's the better practice is to sign it with your digest to make sure that everything works fine. If I can copy this, and in the command line, as you see, I did not put any public-private keys, so I will do a keyless sign, which there were some questions in the previous talk about it. But, so I will do it with GitHub. Authentication successful, so it is signed with my own GitHub account, and it is there. So let's try to verify it. Again, for the verification, you need to provide this experimental parameter at the moment, but I believe this will change soon. Yeah, maybe JQ is a good idea. So as you see, the issuer is GitHub, and subject is my email address. So this states that this image was signed by my account on GitHub. So if you trust me, then you can trust this package. If you don't trust me, then yeah, that's another story for the keyless images or keyless signed artifacts. Again, unfortunately, I mean, for this demo to work and with the whole experimental stuff, I also need to sign it with the old way as well. I mean, without the experimental stuff. Yeah, because otherwise Flux will fail to verify my deployment. So it's also there. If I also check it here now, if I refresh, now as you see, there are two signatures. Yeah, one is attached to it with the new OCI 1.1 version, but the other is like the old one. So yeah, there are signatures. It's signed, and we can check this out. We did the verification already, right? So now I want to deploy this web server Helm chart to my cluster. So I will just create it with Flux, and then it will just get this web server Helm chart deployed on my local cluster. So I add a OCI repo first to Flux. And that's the, I think, important part where is it? Oh, no. Of course. Let's do it like this. What? Oh. What? So my cluster, Flux, or yeah, I also did not run this command here. Yeah, okay, now it's fine. So here I say that, yeah, from this OCI registry, whatever you want to get needs to be issued by GitHub, and the subject needs to be this user. So while Flux will check this out, if the signature does not match, then it will not deploy it to your cluster. So this is how the automated security comes in place. We could have done it with the Helm release as well. Within the Helm release, you can also do verify stuff with Flux. It's also there. But yeah, I prefer this way to also put the issuer and subject there. So yeah, what I want is make sure that it's signed with Cosign, and the issuer and subjects are those things. Otherwise, it will not deploy. So let's create my Helm release for this web server application. So I have two files. Yeah. Now I want to add them. Commit deploy web server for container days 2024 git push. I will again cheat and do Flux reconcile. I don't need this thing. Pods. You see the web server is running here, so just deploy the Helm release, cut Helm releases, yeah, Helm release. So as you see, I have already installed Cert Manager, Nginx, web server, and Zod using Helm releases, and they are already running fine. Everything is good. So, well then, just to see that it is verified, as you see in the OCI repo, it says that, okay, the signature of this is verified, it's true, source is verified. So everything is good here. Another thing regarding OCI artifacts that, I mean, if you have some sort of air-gapped deployment, well, air-gap means different stuff to many people. It could be like a whole, a server without any network connection. For some, it's the local network. But in the end, for any of those kind of installation, you need some sort of relocation package where you copy the binaries, bundles, whatever you want to install there, some other local place, and then you do installation. And the OCI registries actually could do that or could help you with that, because basically you can put your binaries in it, you can put your Helm charts, you can put of course, container images. So you can just use the like a central OCI registry for any type of deployments within your organization. So here I have a, of course it didn't work. Why not? Chart in one file is missing. Why? Okay. Okay, I will show at least this part. So the idea was to have a Zod installed in Minikube in another cluster, and also get the artifacts from one OCI registry and push it to the other one. So with Oras, you can copy the artifacts into your CDS 24, yeah. No. So including with the reverse tag and the reverse API thingy, these are also new parameters to Oras. I want to copy web server 010 as a OCI layout to my local system. So it copied all the files here. And if I check here, there is like the web server thingy. Now everything is in my local. So simply you can, with Oras again, here, you can copy all of them to any other registry and work with that. Again, not necessarily a Helm chart, but it could be any type of artifact, so you can distribute those to other places within your organization. Yeah, I think that's what I was going to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the demo and everything, and thank you very much.
Super. Thank you very much for that talk. While we wait for some of your questions to come in, because we have a little bit of time left before we go for a break, I want to ask you the first question, because I know that you've been in Hamburg for a couple of days with your family.
Yeah,
so,
true.
What did you do, and what are some of your recommendations for people coming here to the city with family?
Well, that's a nice one. Well, if you have small kids, you can go to Miniature Wonderland, which we...
Sorry, what? The miniature wonderland.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. What do you see there?
There are a lot of miniatures, like very small things, but they created a lot of cities and other places. I think they enjoyed it, right? You liked it?
I mean, they can't say no now. They're on the stage. With
Yeah,
you.
of course.
Oh, that sounds really fun. Well done. I mean, like those are the real questions, right? Like you can find this guy in the hallway for the next 2 days, and you can ask all kinds of questions about his talk. But those are the real ones.
Can I get some support for the Q&A? From
sure.
those?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have questions to your dad?
No, just...
Okay. All right. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes? No? You want to hear more about Miniature Wonderland? Do you have a slideshow with some of the pictures of the highlights of Miniature Wonderland? Because now I kind of want to see it.
I haven't prepared anything, but I can show you some
like
pictures.
Private demo of the pictures. Okay, that sounds actually wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's no further questions, you can find this guy in the hallway at any time, and it's time for a little break. And thank you for joining us on stage today. Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.